All right, so law of sines is actually something that you will do more in like advanced topics. So you're gonna kind of get a head start at it. But so far, every time we've used trig, it's always been with right angles, right triangles.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, hi Siri. But we can also we use sine in a little bit of another way to help us find side lengths and angle measures for triangles that are not right triangles. And so in order to do this, we need at least two angles and one side. And so here is kind of a formula, not really a formula, but something like that. So notice how in this triangle, the angles are marked with a capital letter, and the side that is across from them is in the lowercase letter. Okay. So law of sines says that if I take sine of any of those three angles, so let's say sine of A, and we divide it by little a, so the side that is across from it. Kind of like it makes like a proportion type thing. That is equal to all of the other pairs. So that's equal to sine of B over little b, which is equal to sine of C over little c. So with these, we don't label opposite, adjacent, we don't label any of that. We're just taking sine of some angle measure and dividing it by the side length that's across from it. It's just kind of like a proportional thing that works within the triangles. So you have to have like a pair. You have to have an angle and the side length across from it for it to work, and then another angle across from your missing side. So if we look here at number 1, notice I have angle 35 and I have the side across from it. Those are kind of a pair. Doesn't matter which one you call A, B, or C. It doesn't matter. So we could say that sine of 35, so it's always sine of your angle divided by the side that's across from it, so 12. That's equal to, and then I can pick another pair. We don't have to have all three pairs. We only need two pairs. So notice how this 71 degrees is across from x. So sine of 71 over x. So you've got to make a pair. You have to have an angle and the side across from it. Now, luckily, if we have two angles in a triangle, can't we find the third one easily, right? So if we have two, we really have all of them. They may not all be labeled, but it's really easy to find them because you just subtract from 180. So that's really not usually a problem. But you got to make sure you stick the angle with the correct side. It has to be the one that's across from it. So now we can cross multiply. So x sine of 35, so we multiply those two, equals 12 sine of 71. And then to get x by itself, we divide both sides by sine of 35. And you can do that all in one step on your calculator. (12 sine of 71 divided by sine of 35. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Some of you found yesterday you were getting some really weird answers because your calculator was in radians. So that side length is 19.78. I'm tired of these ants. If you look at my trash can, there's like a bunch of these little.
Did you say it needs to be in radial?
No, it needs to be in degree. Did I say radian? It needs to be in degree, sorry. My bad. They were better yesterday. They were better yesterday. And now they're back again. All right, so number 2, let's look for our angle side pairs. So this 18 degrees, I've got that one. If I look across the triangle, that matches up with the side length of 5. So we can say sine of 18 over 5 equals, and then we do have this 114 across the triangle is x. So sine of 114 over x. So when we cross multiply, we get x sine of 18 equals 5 sine of 114. And then if we divide both sides by sine of 18, we get x equals 14.78. Does your calculator say degree?
Yes.
And you did you type it in like this? 5. Okay. If you're just doing the divided, yeah, you got to close your parentheses because it'll put that rest of that within the parentheses.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Any questions? All right. Let's look at number 3. There we go. All right. So let's pick out our pairs. So let's see. This 73 degrees pairs with the side length of 20 because they're across. So we can say that sine of 73 over 20 equals, and then I need this 59 degree angle because it pairs with the x, what I'm trying to find. So sine of 59 over x. Then I'll cross multiply x sine of 73 equals 20 sine of 59. And then divide by sine of 73. And you should get 17.93. Number 4. See, this 96 degrees will pair up with the 27. So sine of 96 over 27. However, my other pair, I have to use this side length of x, so I need this angle. I don't have that angle, but we just said it's easy to find. So if we take 180 minus 53 minus 96, we know that angle is 31 degrees. So sine of 31 over x. To cross multiply. X equals 13.98. Try questions 5 and 6. All right, so you should have got 23. You could have wrote 23 or 22.99 on number 5 and 29.47 on number 6. Are there any questions on these? Okay, let's get into looking at, there's 2 more. Let's see. We'll just skip those because you ought to get on those. All right, let's go down to number 9 where we're finding missing angle measures. Now these kind of, might need to make sure you're writing kind of small on these because they do take a little more work on them. All right, so we start with same thing. We're going to set up our proportion. So get your angle side pairs. So for example, the 77 degrees across the triangle is the side length of 14. So I can say sine of 77 over 14 equals, and then my other pair, I use x and this 9. So sine of x over 9. Now when I cross multiply, we get 14 sine of x. Let's see. 14 sine of x equals 9 sine of 77. And then you need to divide both sides by 14. So if we divide by 14, Now you can go ahead and type that in, this part over here, and get a decimal. 9 sine of 77 divided by 14. But you need to go to at least 4 decimal places. So sine of x equals 0.6264. But we still need x. So what do we do when we're missing the angle? How do we solve for that? Do what? We do the inverse. So we do sine inverse of 0.6264. That's where you get second sine, and you type in the 0.6264. You could actually skip this step right here, and it would actually be more accurate if you did second sine, and then you did 9 sine of 77 over 14. I mean, it was off, it really should probably be 7, 8. Because we rounded up a little bit here, so it made this round up. So if you want to completely skip turning it into a decimal, you can. All right. So number 10. Okay, let's see. This 126 pairs with the side length of 31. So sine of 126 over 31 equals, and this missing angle pairs with 15. So sine of x over 15. Then when we cross multiply, 31 sine of x equals 15 sine of 126. And then we got to divide both sides by 31. So then if we do second sine, if you already typed that in and got a decimal, that's fine. Or we can do 15 sine of 26. Oh, 126. And you should get about 23.05 or so. Any questions? Do a couple more. All right. So 61 degrees matches with the side length of 24. So sine of 61 over 24 equals sine of x over 21. Then we cross multiply. And then we divide. And then to break x away from sine, we got to do sine inverse that fraction, or you could have already typed it in and got it as a decimal. So second sine 21 times 61 over 24. And we get 49.93. All right, I want you to try number 12. All right, you should have got 80.44 degrees. Any questions? All right, we will stop there. So this is the last lesson before your final. There's no test over this unit, but there will be some questions from this unit on your test, on your final exam. Now, those questions on your final from this unit are not straight from your notes packets. They are brand new questions, but the rest of the final, 99% of that comes straight from your notes packets, the exact same question. So if you've got those, that would be handy. If not, we're still going to review. You will still be okay on the final, but you don't have those there.